personally had a fun time. What did you think, Ronnie?
No.
Go ahead.
I'm just apologizing to Aaron because
I was unhappy with this visit.
Was
we
it
got
walk or-
there and then Aaron's girl was just like, well, you're taking me to Stop and Shop, and Aaron and I just looked at each other like, oh my god, we just drove here and now we have to drive to Stop and Shop.
So we did. We drove her to Stop and Shop. We got her groceries. And it was sad because, like, the last time I seen her, like, getting groceries, she was a little bit more spry in her step. And now, like, she's, like, relying on the cart to, like, walk. So it's kind of, like, you know, painful for me to watch. But she still is showboating as ever. She's like, oh, I don't really like these. No, we're not going to get them. And, like, she's, like, talking to herself. Like,
Yeah.
she's just saying this out loud. Like, oh, you know, we're not going to get these things. I don't like this. Ah, ew. And,
How old is she?
she's like 74, going on 75, I think.
Alright.
Maybe even 76. She was born in 1944. So whatever year it is today is 2021. So that is 70,
It's 1 year older than Connie.
I think 76.
76.
My dad's mom is 92.
Oh, she's not there yet. Ronnie's great aunt is
In her
90 in her 90s.
Oh.
Aunt Agnes.
Yeah, Yaya's.
And
I think Yaya's 90 this year.
Yo, Yaya's a champ. Michael, why do you smell? Michael, what's with your giant head?
Michael, where's your
With-
mother?
Michael, where's your mother?
That's, yeah, like, there were a few voicemails that Sarah had listened to. And, like, it's mostly just Yaya being like, Michael, where are you? Where's your mother?
It's like all these questions lined up behind each other. And when you talk to her in person, it's the same thing, but like she doesn't give you any room to answer.
No.
She's just like,
Goes
what
right
do you
into
do?
it.
What do you do for a living? How old's your mother? Like,
Well, yeah. My mom's, oh, okay, okay. She's
yeah,
like,
right.
that's awesome.
Today, Aaron's aunt was like, oh, is Marie your mom?
My mom is named Marie.
Like,
She's
was
known
like,
that for a
she
long
didn't
time.
know.
She's just for
She
some
didn't
reason.
know.
it's
She's like,
definitely-
is that your mom's name? I'm like,
No,
yeah.
she was like, is Marie your mom? And you're like, yeah, Marie's my mom.
Yeah, her memory is like.
She's like, oh. And then your grandma was like,
Yes, man. What do you think?
what, you think she's his sister?
Yeah, what do you think? She's your sister? That lush.
Yeah, she's calling everyone a lush today.
That was her new
What
word.
does that mean?
Like a drunk.
Lush.
Super
lush.
drinker.
I've never heard
Yeah,
that before.
a lush.
A lush.
And that's how she said it
Molly
too.
was a lush.
Molly's a lush. My like little kid sister. She's a lush. So Ronnie, she can't have an over excessive amount of time with my grandma because it is overbearing, and Mike could attest
just,
to
like-
that. Like she could be a little abrasive.
You know,
I'm used to it, so
I
I'm like,
would appreciate, like, oh, could you take me to the grocery store? Wow, thank you so much for doing that. Like, if it's not too much trouble, I need some groceries, as opposed to, like, you're taking me to the grocery store.
and as we're driving back, she's like, "Oh yeah, you're picking up my laundry too." And I'm
She
like,
gave you
"Oh,
a
yeah?"
thank you.
She at the very end.
At the very end.
Very end, she
At
said.
least
thank
you got that.
Yeah,
And,
I
like-
mean, I'm fine with it. She's not
And
used
I
to
just,
that.
like, looking at each other, like, oh my
I mean,
God.
I grew up with that, so I'm like, I know
Meanwhile,
exactly
my
how
mom's
that
like,
side is.
oh, well, you know, if it's okay, if it's not too much trouble.
Yeah.
But if it, like, no, it's okay. Like, we're
Yeah.
like, but, so it's very.
There was like a little hesitation when she first asked about the grocery store, and Marion's like, "Oh no, go take her." So she was.
Because we had just driven like 3 hours.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't too bad to get into the city
No, but
today.
it was still like a long time, and then the traffic, and then it was like, by the way, you're taking me to the store.
So that was. I mean, it was what it was. I'm happy we got to help her out, but Ronnie can only have little
And then,
bits and
like,
pieces
we're
of
in
that.
the elevator of the grocery store, and she's like, get like, what'd she say?
There's a guy with carts.
Like a guy doing his job of like moving all the grocery carts, and she was like, "You're in the way, get out of here."
No, but
Oh
she
my
was,
God.
she was saying that as a joke.
Okay, but she said it loudly.
Oh, yeah,
Whereas
she
someone
definitely
in the
did that.
service industry, if I heard someone saying that, I'd be like, "Are you kidding me? I'm
Yeah.
literally just trying to
Yeah.
move like
She
50
was.
carts."
She thought I was just teasing. I'm like.
That's
But
teasing.
we absolutely
It's
can hear
different
it.
if it was like
Yeah,
in the home
she
saying that,
doesn't-
but like she said
Yeah.
it loud enough
She
that the
doesn't
person
know.
definitely
She does not
heard.
know an inside voice. She does not have that anymore. It's,
Yeah.
that's
She's
all
like-
long
I think it's
gone.
her hearing.
She's like, go
Yeah.
on,
Yeah.
get out of here. We're trying to go up. And the guy's like trying to move like 50 carts.
It's like, what's he doing over here, huh?
And I was like, oh my god. Like, this poor guy's probably just like, I literally have been doing this for 8 hours. I'm
Aw.
just
Sir, I'm so
trying to
sorry.
get
My
done."
grandma's just being very funny, and I think it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious.
I think it's hilarious. Don't take offense to it, sir.
And I was like, oh my god.
Ryan's like, I'm too offended by this.
What
So-
about has she put on weight or is she just?
A little bit. Well, I think she kind of looks, more or less looks the same.
Yeah.
She's complaining about her the numbness in her feet, and I think that's from like her diabetes. But
Damn.
she's definitely the same. If anything, it's just every time I see her, it just gets a little bit more like yeah, like just more.
Has
Ow.
she
She was
changed
very
her diet?
agitated when we got there.
Has she changed her diet? I mean, I think she's trying, but at this point, she's just like, I'm just gonna have what I want.
Yeah.
So.
I know a guy who
Uh,
the guy who sold me the mushrooms that I last had. He's a diabetic.
that I had last.
That I had last.
This mushroom that I had last.
That he had lost his toe recently.
Damn.
So like when I went to his house, every time I go to his house, it's like mandatory to stay there for like almost an hour, where it's like I have to watch him play PlayStation before he.
In
Like,
exchange.
yeah.
Every time I go to his house, I see him lose another toe.
Yeah. And he had lost a toe, and he was like walking around with like a limp in his flip flops.
Oh, like he's trying to help my foot.
Mark.
he doesn't even know how. The kid,
You'll learn.
he'll figure it out. He's like, I'm gonna get this. I'm
He
gonna
hasn't
pump
been
it.
doing
He
that
fucking
as
kicked
much.
him.
Get out.
No.
Come on, Mars. But so you're gonna watch this guy play PlayStation with like a bum foot.
Yeah, I was just bringing that because he had diabetes. He lost his toe. I hope your grandmother doesn't.
I hope
lose
not
any
either.
Yeah.
My ex stepdad, because he's not my stepdad anymore. Gus, I don't know if you probably met him.
I know, Gus.
He has diabetes and he didn't take care of himself and he fell asleep and his foot was like leaning against like a radiator, like a portable radiator. He couldn't feel it because his big toe was too like just numb. So
Yeah.
he woke up and he saw like there's like this big whatever and he was trying to fix it himself. He didn't go to the doctor. He grabbed like a knife and he's just trying to do his thing. It
A
turned out it was
knife?
he's ratchet.
Yeah.
Yeah, he popped it
Oh my
off,
God.
and then the doctor said, "Yeah, no, we gotta cut this thing off." So now he does not have a toe, big
Big
toe,
toe.
Big toe, I feel like that's so like vital for your
so
balance.
pivotal to have
yeah.
that. Yeah, oh yeah, he's a mess, that guy.
Oh no.
But just to talk about toes and diabetes,
Just a big
stupid.
toe, you like
big
don't
toe.
know how important it is till you lose it.
Yeah.
Just
You don't know
thinking
until it's
about
gone.
it. Yeah.
Like, damn, I used to stand straight. I'm
Yeah. I'm
leaning, leaning and limping.
Leaning and limping,
That's okay though.
yeah.
We went for a run today.
All of you?
We went. Well, not Marsh,
No,
but
not
we
Marshy.
went to the park and ran, and did like lunges across the
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 field.
field.
Maybe Marshall would have loved to have joined that action.
I run with him sometimes, but he like jerks the leash and it's really annoying. So
As you take something out of his mouth.
Yeah.
He's a
My point.
little puppy boy.
Yeah. Still a baby.
Aww. You got anything to say, Marshall?
We were like, maybe he'll talk because he like growls and stuff at us.
It's cool to watch his like. He doesn't have lips, but his lips move.
When he like growls.
Yeah, you see it happen.
This is like a classic New York couple and with a dog. In their
Oh yeah,
That's what it looks
that
like.
classic
The classic,
thing.
that classic thing.
baby boy.
He's a little baby tiny
You gonna
boy.
talk?
Yeah, I need to get something across. I really needed to tell you something, and you false me putting my thing on this pillow. Like he's talking.
He's not quite there yet though.
Oh shoot, there it is.
Here he is.
Yeah.
Alright.
Impressive.
Don't
Our
worry,
cat
on
just
my
makes
sweater.
like the smallest like sounds sometimes.
When he like grunts.
Like little grunts.
What's his meow like?
When he's really upset.
Super
it's
small.
Like, well, it usually sounds like a creaky door in the house. Yeah, it's
It's inaudible.
Like
He-
Marshall's confused.
like
Yeah, you liked Starsky. He was your friend, right?
And
You was trying to
then
play with him the whole time.
we
Yeah.
we took him to get a rabies shot a couple weeks ago,
A baby shot.
yeah, a little baby shot. And it's funny he's in the car that that's the first time we ever heard him make noise. So when I heard it, I was so concerned.
Yeah.
But he just really hates the car. So when he's in the car, he's like,
Oh yeah, he hates the car.
so he was really unhappy.
Oh, does Marshall like the train?
He doesn't care.
I think he gets, yeah, I don't know that he ever really reacted to it.
Do you like train, Marshall?
Train?
You want to play
You
your
wanna
little
go on
your
train?
little conky? You want to play your little conk?
What?
That's what that's called, right? A conky.
Oh yeah.
Conk.
Oh,
Yeah, I
conky
don't
doo
know.
doo.
A little conky. Baby.
Marshall.
How do I smell?
Pretty
Oh,
good, dude.
I want to have sex with your face.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where is she?
Holy shit. It feels so good. It smells good. Would you get him? Would you spray on him?
Shit's on you.
Oh, the other night, I was sleeping and our cat likes to like lay on top of my chest or like in between my
Aw.
legs.
He gets like crazier the closer it gets to a full moon.
Yeah, as a
like,
full
gets
moon
more,
comes,
like,
he
really?
gets rambunctious. So he comes and he walks up onto my chest. He's like looking at me and,
And I was,
I'm
like,
like
petting him.
Ronnie, pet him. So he's petting him.
Mhm.
And he turns around and then he literally like sits on my face, like his ass like, lands right on my
The
nose.
whole on
I'm like, what the hell? And then he like, got up and then he like walked off. I was like, are you fucking
But he
kidding me?
was like standing there so long, just
Yeah.
like standing on top of Aaron. And
Yeah.
I'm like laying there petting him.
And then he just turns around and just like, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Marshall does that a lot too, where he won't like sit on your face, but he'll just put his ass in your face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually her face when he's trying to lick me.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he loves to lick Michael's face.
He's like, it tastes so good.
Yeah, and he likes to use me as like a step to get to
To
Michael's
get to
face.
Michael.
It's because Mike uses like peanut butter for like
Yeah.
his beard, so
Yeah.
he just like smears
He just
it.
like dog
That's what
shits.
he's been doing.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Like
Sarah's-
most people use beard balm, but he was
Yeah.
like,
Using
I
peanut
have
butter.
like this all organic, like natural way to
Yeah.
like get the shine and shape of my beard.
Sarah's in her room working on something. She's like, "What are you up to?"
Nothing.
And he's like putting the peanut butter back in the
Just like
cabinet.
shove in like the.
I trip and I break a bunch of
Yeah.
plates.
That was Marshall.
That was
Yeah.
Marshall, babe.
And then I go in my room and close the door. I don't clean it up.
And then you're just like massaging your beard, and you're like, "That's good. That's
Yeah.
really good."
That's
Good
so
stuff.
good. Yeah, Sarah, you should definitely go outside for like 30 minutes. I'll clean up the house. Yeah. With
And
peanut butter.
Sarah's always like, "Did you eat a peanut butter and jelly today?"
Yeah, do you always eat those every day?
You're like,
Smells like peanut butter jelly all the time.
Every single day in this house. This peanut butter
"Why don't
and
you
jelly.
tell them about your mice?"
We call
My
it
rice?
penis butter.
Penis butter?
Yeah, we call it penis
That's
butter.
very liberated.
Yeah.
That's liberated
So
saying.
sex positive.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
penis
yeah.
butter.
What about my mice? I didn't catch any mice yet.
Yeah, how much penis butter do you put?
I put a lot.
You have mice in your house?
In the attic, they're like running around.
Oh.
And we got a 5-gallon bucket, and we filled up about a third of it with water, and then like on the lid we cut a hole for like a mouse to get into, and the underside we put like a bunch of peanut butter and nothing there. They're too smart, I think.
Because my sister did the same thing at my mom's house, and
Mhm.
they caught like 5 mice in the first night.
Wow.
But our mice are too smart.
They're like,
Hey, we don't want that. We're smarter than that.
They like poke
Yeah,
their
they're
heads
too
in,
smart.
and they're like, "Ooh, we're not falling for that one," and then they just
yeah.
stray back
yeah,
in.
right. I don't think they were making that much.
Well, do you have a lid on your bucket?
Yeah, and then we also even had a ramp for them to go up.
So they can go up to
So they're
like
deaf.
try and get the peanut
So
butter.
I've seen a version of that same one where it's like, but no lid to the bucket, where
It's like
Is it like
it's a
a
dowel in a can. and
Yeah.
it like spins around.
and put
That might be
put
it.
peanut butter on the can, 'cause then they're like,
What?
yeah.
I saw one where you
Yeah.
I saw one where you put like a bowl and you fill it with oil around the sides, so they like and you put whatever peanut butter or cheese or whatever in
Oh,
the
shit,
middle,
just
and then
so-
they just slip in, and then they're stuck in there and they can't crawl back out.
Damn.
So, but like that's like, and then the humane thing that like people do with that is they'll like give the mouse a bath after, and then they'll like take them wherever.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want to touch.
I wouldn't want to
wanna
give a mouse a
touch
bath. Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I don't want to like have a bucket full of mice and drive them
If
somewhere
it's
else.
big,
Yeah.
you'd have to get rabies shots, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Like, if a mouse
Yeah,
bit you.
that's true.
I figure if they're in our house, we have every right to have them like go and trick themselves to like kill them. Like they're killing themselves when they fall into
Yeah.
the bucket. I'm just putting it there for them.
For them to die.
Yeah, I'm putting it.
It's not
putting
your
it
fault.
there. It's not my fault. I'm like
I
putting
just
the
wanted to
like
put
delicious
a bucket
peanut
of
butter.
water with peanut butter on it.
Delicious
God, they
peanut
should be
butter.
thanking
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, they should be thanking these mice. These mice should be thanking me for doing that to them. But maybe when we get home, we'll see.
I mean, they don't like if they came down into the main part of the house. Our cat would like he doesn't kill them.
Play
he
with them.
Plays
Plays
with
with
them.
them.
Like we wake up in the
Yeah.
morning and it's like he's chasing the mouse. He's caught it in his mouth and then he walks with it in his mouth, puts it down, and then they both just sit there and stare at each other.
So one of them starts moving first, and then they'll.
But then we like catch it because like
He
they're
gets
both
tired.
sitting there and he's looking at it and the mouse is just sitting there looking back at him.
He like flops down. And it's just
I'm like, can't you just like do your job? And
Yeah.
like, I'm like, you're both so stupid. You're
Yeah.
just both sitting there looking at each other.
looking at each other.
I'm like, one of you can run away and the other one of you can kill the other. But you're
And then
both
you get
listening
upset
to
when
it.
he's like in the middle of it. And you're like, Aaron, go get the mouse. You don't want
Well,
them to be in
it's like
trouble.
if he kills the mouse while we're sleeping, I don't feel responsible because it's like, okay, it's happened.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Whatever, we find it in the morning. But then if it's happening in front of us, I feel like a duty to like catch the mouse and like take it away because
Yeah.
like Aaron has like just shut the door to the bathroom with the cat and the mouse in there.
I'm like, you go do your thing, my guy.
And I'm like, I can't feel okay with this because now
I feel
meanwhile,
alright.
like on the other side of this door, it's like not it's a very violent end.
Do you get scared when you see a mouse running?
I don't know if I get scared because they don't really scare me. It's more just like kind of gross, but I still like scream.
They're pretty fast and
They
they're more
startle the
surprising,
shit
yeah.
out of
Yeah,
me.
they, like,
I
scurry
always
around.
scream when I see them.
I was taking a dump once and I heard Sarah scream. I was like, oh, jeez.
You want to hear about me taking dumps and her screaming, man? Like anytime there's like anything that looks like a spider, anything that's like anything remote to it, she'll go blood curdling like.
But when you
Like,
say like
super scream.
anything, it's like we have cave crickets, which are
Yeah.
like
Or like little pieces of hair that looks like a spider, or there's like a little piece in the tile that looks like a
okay, but
spider.
that's like a dead cricket or something that looks like a spider.
It's dead though.
But I'm not getting close to look.
I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna scream as loud as I can. Maybe something will happen.
One time when I was little, at my grandmother's house, at Yaya's house,
Jaja.
there was a dark spot on the tile, and she went up to it and she said, "What is this? Is this caca?" And she went up to it and she picked it up and she licked it. And then she was like, "Oh, chocolate."
Oh, chocolate.
She didn't even smell her finger, right?
No,
No,
she
she
went
just,
for
like,
it.
went
She
for
went
it.
into it. That's awesome. What a great surprise. Oh, chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
The amount of other things it could have
Oh,
been.
there's so many other
Like-
things. That's awesome.
Like dirt.
That's old
Yeah.
school. That's what they did right back then.
Well, she's from she would ride a donkey into town to sell like eggs from their little
Oh my
farm.
god.
So she's like, she's like
Old
a
school
hillbilly.
Greek.
She's like
Yeah.
a Greek hillbilly.
They sell like magic beans to get like a mushroom.
She used to pass like
Damn.
there would be like a camp of gypsies on the road on the way to the market, and she would
On her donkey.
She would get afraid.
Of them?
Yeah, because the idea is like a gypsy will steal you
A
and
little
like
scary.
sell you to the circus or whatever.
That's crazy. In the old country, dude. Your Yaya lived in the old country.
She did, yeah, that's where she was born.
In the old country.
And then when she came here, she used to help keep kids in their seat on the short yellow bus.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
her job.
That was her job. Just
Did she drive the bus or just
Just
tell
tell them to
sit
sit down.
seat?
yeah, I think she would tell me that she would yell at them.
That's like pretty much all I do at my job. So.
How old are you when she told you this story?
I was like 6.
You're just
so,
sitting
like,
there, just like looking at
when
you.
you're on a
like,
short
oh,
yellow bus, you think about how she yells at
shit.
kids, so you're like, I can't be one of them.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
If I ever see one, I do say my grandma worked on that.
Mhm.
On that one.
That exact bus she yelled at these
Yeah.
kids to sit down. That's awesome, man. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's chill.
I remember going to her house after school. And to go to your house.
Yeah, because it was the same for a second.
It was the same for a second. And then you guys moved into Astoria.
Yeah.
And then we'd go to after school because, like, where our middle school was, it was really close to his Yaya's house. We'd go there and then we'd go to your house in Astoria. There's a couple times we did that.
Oh man, I don't remember.
You don't remember middle school, man? You don't remember 8th grade?
He was smoking too much
He was
weed.
smoking too much
Yeah.
weed. He was hitting too much pipe.
I remember
He was
it
letting
was
too much
before
pipe
I had tried weed, but it was like the months leading up to me trying it for the first
out. The
time.
months.
Yeah, like there's this kid, I forget his name,
Michael.
but no.
Julian.
It might have been like a Joe
Dennis.
or like a Ryan or a Joey or
Oh,
he was like a bad kid.
bad boy.
He was like cool but bad.
A
right?
Brad.
He does bad. He's a Brad.
He's a bad
Let's call him Brad. And like Brad was like going around the room and like pointing out people that had like smoked or drank alcohol, and like there are some people that didn't, and I didn't want to be on the didn't list because like I didn't want to be a loser. So when they
Yeah.
got to me, it's like, what have you done? I'm like, I smoked weed.
I smoked crack.
And yeah,
I've done mushrooms.
I shoot up heroin
Yeah.
between my toes.
Yeah. I take hallucinogenic.
I take hallucinogenic.
That's cool, Mike. Why don't you show us that right now? Oh, okay.
I remember when I said it though. I was like, I smoke weed. He looked at me and he like squinted his eyes and he said, maybe.
Oh, he called you
And you're
out.
like, I'll show you.
Yeah.
He looks so scared. This is like middle school.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. I remember this kid wearing like an orange like sweatshirt, like playing basketball, and when he shot, he'd jump and then both legs would go. when you jump shot.
Oh really?
Yeah, you don't remember that?
No.
This is in 7th grade when you thought I was like mentally like challenged.
I did.
Yeah, I absolutely thought I had like a shaved head, I
Yeah,
had
he was,
baggy
like-
clothes.
Sarah, he was like kind of like chunky.
Aw.
Yeah,
He
I
was
was-
chunky.
I was wearing like friggin' sick ass like
and like
Jordans.
shaved head.
Aw.
Probably
So like he already
counterfeit
has
Jordans.
a big head to begin with, and then it's like you give him like a crew cut
And like a Raiders jersey and like just baggy pants.
Aw.
and like very
Yeah.
brown.
I know you talk like this sometimes.
Yeah, like
I was a lot of energy.
Aw.
Oh, that's funny stuff, man.
He's still like that sometimes. Tell him what you did the other day that I got mad at you.
Oh, I was in the kitchen and I just like pulled down my pants and like spread my butt cheeks.
like naked.
Yeah,
No.
nigga.
He just gets up, pulls down his pants, and turns around like this.
I'm like laughing and running.
And I just was
You're
like,
like, Aaron, I just want you to do things that are cute. Do you think this is cute?
think this was cute.
I'm like, no, I'm
I'm
sorry.
like, do you think I'm attractive?
You're still talking to him like
You're
you're
not.
talking to Ronnie upside down.
Like,
still.
That's
No, I'm
actually
sorry.
what was happening.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sorry, I love you so much.
You're like, I'll
You're
be
still
so
And
upset.
then my
I'm like,
butt's spread.
I want you to be like fun loving,
Marshall.
and cute, but
Yeah.
I don't want you to do things like this.
Masha, no! Masha! Yeah, that was some fun stuff.
Sarah shaved my butt once.
I did. I
I
went with like one of the electric razors and
How
just
was
like
it?
trimmed.
I was like,
trimmed in different shapes.
we were in the bathtub and I had my hands against
Sitting in like still water.
Like, no,
Nigga.
No, I was standing up.
He's like,
Yeah.
he's like this.
Kinda.
Alright, Mike, let's try them open. Okay. There's a lot in there, but
I was scared.
that's scary, man.
I
was
want to
scared.
wax
was
Aaron's
really
butt so bad. I just
Uh,
want to
That
like,
That's too much.
I had to. There was a pilot that some people I know from a production company were shooting, and I had a small part that involved like my butt, like
Being shown.
being out, and so I asked Sarah to like shave my butt
Sarah?
because I was embarrassed.
Could you shave my blood?
My blood.
please.
Yeah,
And how was it, the shot? But they're like, this is great.
I think so. How was it for you? I was really
It's
embarrassed.
fine.
And I was like apologizing every like
Yeah,
3
you
seconds.
didn't
I'm
have
sorry.
to like
I'm
that.
sorry.
I'm sorry for my
I'm
butt.
sorry, my pussy
Yeah.
hairy.
Sorry for my
It
hair.
didn't bother me at all.
Didn't
It was
bother?
like, no.
There's a lot of hair though. He's a good
He's
amount.
got a lot of hair.
He's a
Yeah.
Greek guy.
He's a
He's
hairy
got a lot. Little hairy boy. You wanna shave my butt?
Aaron's not super hairy except for his butthole, but occasionally he gets like inch long, like dark hair, like 2 inch long
Oh,
dark
like
hairs
my
that
stomach.
like grow on his stomach that I have to pluck.
It's just like,
Oh.
Like today, I looked and I was like, I'm gonna need to get those.
Just
growing
2
inch
like
out,
random
just, like-
hairs.
Yeah.
that's
I'm
gross.
like, where
Sorry.
are these
I'm
from?
disgusting. I gotta get it lasered. If you get like your butthole lasered, I
If we-
think it won't grow back there,
If we
right?
make a bunch of money from Shiba Inu or
Just get
any of the
butthole
other
lasers.
stupid things,
Is that your
yeah.
first
Yeah,
purchase?
we're gonna treat ourselves to laser butthole removal.
I don't want
That's
it
why not.
anymore.
I don't want it.
Aaron, like I love you, but you're also kind of a pussy when it comes to pain. Like
It does
If
hurt.
lasers hurt?
Aaron will
Lasers
be
hurt.
like,
It's burning the.
he's
Oh,
gonna be like,
God.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't
I
want to do
need to
this
hold my
anymore."
hands. Ow! Ah! Ah! Fuck!
Michael and Aaron are just gonna like hold hands.
Yeah, you have procedures next to each other.
We're on 2 tables facing each other, like we're like laying on our stomach.
They were just like, oh. They would probably feel so good to not have hair there anymore.
Do you want to get tased a little bit?
You want to tase your dog?
Real?
Aaron, that's not funny.
It's not funny. I don't know why I laughed at
Poor
that.
Marshall.
I
If
laughed
you-
because I know it's
What's going
never
on?
going to happen. It would be so weird if Mike said, yeah!
If you did,
Yeah, he said yeah.
if
Yes.
you want to get tased, it would be like that long.
Yeah. Do you want to get
Like,
tased?
not-
Ryan?
No, I do not want to
I
get
don't want to get
tased.
tased.
It would just
It's
be
because Tyler tased you.
Tyler
You want to tase
tased
someone
me. I
else.
So it felt
I
like a
tased
tattoo,
Tyler.
getting tattooed, right?
It did.
I,
But it's like the sound is actually
It's louder.
scarier than it. Like
Yeah.
if you were to do it, I would swear on my life that I would do it this long. Like I would
Because
tap the
any
button.
longer than that, it'd probably be like, I'd shit my pants.
I don't know.
I like my legs, my knees would buckle, and I just collapse to the floor.
You can do it on like a meaty part, like your shoulder. That's
I
where
know.
I did it. We did it on our shoulders.
I went to a party in high school one time where some guy had a taser,
Oh,
and he was
God.
kind of like a loose cannon and also like drunk, so I was really scared. So I like slept in my car with the door locked all night.
It was like standing like.
I was like
Yeah.
scared because
Barely-
everyone's like,
barely
"She has a
understand.
taser," and I was like, "I'm not messing around. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit here and like get tased. Like, oh, I tased you."
I was
It was
I was at a party where we were like at like this fire pit, and this kid named Jake Lynch, he got like a metal like I don't know, like a barb for like when you like move like a fire poker, and he'd like put it in the fire, and he's like putting it on his leg, and he's like, "Yo, Rosado, you want some of this?" I was like, "What?" And he like put it on my like,
Brand
leg,
you?
and he like branded me. I was like, "Ah!" He's like, "Is that cool, right?" And then like he did it a couple more times to me, and I
He just
died.
kept doing it to you.
He's like, "Come on, I'll do one. You do one, man." It's
Oh
fucking
my
nuts.
God.
So I don't know if I'd want to get tased. Not right now. Not in front of my wife.
Just a little.
Tase your
one.
dog first, and then tase me.
Marshall really wants that collar back on. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
You know,
wants
it's
it.
just
I wanna
making
be
too much
owned.
sound for that.
He's like, "I really want you to tase my balls, Dad."
Am I allowed to leave to go to the bathroom?
Of course.
There you go. Am I
He's
not-
just
do I-
gonna-
do I have permission?
He's
Can
gonna
I have
keep
your
like
permission?
I need to go back.
Can I go by the
May I please go to the bathroom?
Please, Mr. Mikey.
No.
Her Mikey.
Mikey. Mikey.
Mikey.
Can I please go to the bathroom?
Abracadabra, Mikey.
Mikey, please. We got to stop. Voldemort. Mikey.
We have to stop and see a snake.
It's Professor Snacks.
One time we were like getting ready for bed and we were petting Marshall, and then I realized he had pissed like on a big portion of the bed and he was laying on top of it. And like when I noticed that, he was like laying on his back doing the belly rub thing. I'm like, you're just laying in your own piss.
Laying in his
So
own
we're always
piss.
like la la la, like this is how he is. Just
That's
la
hilarious.
la
He
la,
does
just
not
piss
care.
the bed.
La la la. He doesn't care. This kid, he does whatever he wants.
He does. He's the king of the house.
Yeah, you tell him what to do.
Neck hugs. It's not choking if it's hugging.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Neck hug is
A
this?
little neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a little.
I think
gentle-
they like their necks to be
Touched,
like.
right?
Yeah,
That's
just
why
like
they
a
like to
little,
lay like this on things.
Yeah,
I think
you
they
just
like.
do a little like.
Little knuck. Little
Yeah.
knuck.
Just nice and
Little
gentle,
knuckle
not
bump.
too hard.
Like
Yeah.
This little dunk.
A little butthole.
It's got a little
His
dunk.
balls are just like there.
They're
Yeah.
so prominent with this
Baller.
haircut. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to take him to the park because of how obvious they are.
Sorry, there's just like a piece of gum on your dog's butt.
I'll get it off for you.
Yeah. His mouth.
He spreads his
Oh, wait a minute.
through the balls.
This isn't dog dunk.
This is ball sack.
This is ball sack. This is ball sack.
I've tasted this before, and I know what this is.
Not bubble gum.
Shit, what did my grandma say that was like a weird pronunciation? She'll say some weird, like she'll just say things really weird. God, what was it? You remember what she was saying? She was like talking earlier today.
No, I try and like.
God, it was so funny. I just don't remember.
My grandma's from the Midwest,
Uh-oh.
and like she says, I don't know if this is a Midwest thing. I think she's just weird, but she says mature instead of mature, and it's like the grossest thing I've ever
Mature.
heard. It's so
Mature.
upsetting to
mature audience only.
hear. Mature.
Does she say ruts instead of roots?
I don't know.
You should ask her
Is that a
about.
Midwest thing?
Yeah, you should ask her about what do trees have? What ruts?
Ruts.
They got ruts.
Her dad says, "Get your damn."
Get you damn.
Does,
That's
yeah.
that's badass. That's badass.
Today we were talking like, how can we get our damn? Like,
Yeah.
How can we do this?
yeah.
Do they say tennis shoes?
Oh.
Soda pop?
I think my mom says tennis. My mom's from the south. So
Tennis
she
shoes
says
makes me
she-
so mad. I'm like,
Really?
what? I'm gonna
Sne-
wear.
You say sneakers?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
what? I'm playing
Me
tennis.
too.
They're
Yeah.
sneakers.
I think I
Sneak
grew up
around in
saying
them.
tennis shoes, honestly.
Tennis shoes.
But yeah, you don't play tennis. It doesn't make
I
sense.
think I would say tennis shoes once every 30 times that I'm supposed to say
That's
sneakers.
solid.
It would be
Solid
like a
amount.
mistake that randomly comes out of my mouth, but I would just say these are my sneakers.
Amidst.
And those are also the sneakers I play tennis in.
Yeah.
The sneakers I play
Sneakers I
tennis.
play tennis in. Those are my shoes.
Those are my
But to
shoes.
be fair, sneakers is a strange word, like
That is a
implying that.
sneaker.
Oh yes, I wear these
Sneaky.
sneakers to sneak around in.
Sneaking around.
That is pretty sneaky.
We used to call every soda Coke.
Coke.
I think that's a southern thing. Like
That's
if you
a
wanted a
Southern.
Sprite, you'd still say
Coke.
Coke.
I'll get the
I'm
white
drinking
Coke, the clear Coke.
The white Coke.
Can I
Yeah,
have
clear Coke.
Can I have some Coke? Which one?
Clear
The cola?
Yeah, Coca-Cola.
The Coke.
The lemon lime Coke.
Lemon
Lemon
lime
lime
Coke.
Oh, you mean spritz? You got it.
Spritz.
Let me get a spritz. Let me get a spritz of Coke.
Yeah.
They got
That's funny. They got some funny things, they say.
Yeah.
So I'm more deeply considering possibly getting a real estate license.
That's
Aaron was
something.
telling me about that.
Selling sunsets is boy.
And he, like,
We've been watching that show.
Isn't it so good?
It's so good. Michael gets annoyed when there's drama.
I
He's
like-
like, I just want to see the houses.
I was gonna say the
That's
same thing.
exactly how Aaron is.
Yeah.
I should've said
Like
that.
you just gotta
Just
like
like show me the houses.
whole
I
thing.
start fast forwarding just until I see
He was
us.
fast. Well, his
Like,
mom
to
was
see
over,
more
and he
house.
wanted to show her the show
The
for the
houses.
houses, and he was fast forwarding. And I was like, "Stop! I
Yeah.
want to
You
know."
missed
You
so
missed
much.
the drama.
Yeah.
We just make a compilation of all the shots of just the houses.
There really isn't
Yeah.
very much.
There's not that
In
much.
like a 30-minute
It's mostly
episode,
drama.
it's like 5
I'm just
minutes.
not
It's
gonna
like
like
they showed
forgive
two
this
houses.
thing
Yeah.
that this
Yeah.
girl did, and I'm just gonna hold a grudge against her. Oh, I'm gonna talk behind her
Yeah.
back.
To be fair, the most recent season focused only on the one girl's drama and not on anything else that anyone else did. Which
Don't
is
worry,
kinda
season
lame.
5 is going to be a lot more drama. And she's
I think
dating
we're
her
on
boss.
season 2 right now.
Oh, phew.
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Like
Damn.
Chriselle, we got to where Chriselle just got divorced,
Pretty
or
sure.
just got filed for divorce.
Yeah.
It's a
randomly.
public divorce. She
Yeah.
has no idea
Public
what this is
divorce.
like.
Yeah.
I have $1 million house.
I'm gonna make
So Mike's going to make $1
5
million.
times as much as you guys
I'm
will
trying.
ever make in 1 year.
Yeah,
in
that's
just the sale of
exactly what they
stuff.
do.
Oh my god, yeah.
Hope you get to do that, man. Just sell like a sick, big business New York City apartment.
It'd be cool.
How would you sell it?
Well, there was that show that we watched that was trying to be selling Sunset.
Sell in
But it
Hampton or
was-
something like
It
that?
was like based out of the Hamptons.
Yeah, you could just go to the
Oh,
Hamptons
that
and
would be
sell
It was
stuff.
called. It was something to do with
Well, my license would let
Like
me sell
beach
anywhere in
house
New
or
York.
something.
Oh, so there you go. Go to Hamptons and sell Montauk. You
I
love
could
Montauk.
go-
It was.
I could
I think
sell-
wasn't it based? Well,
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think
based on
Hamptons
Hamptons.
are gonna make it.
What?
I would have to lie to somebody. If somebody wanted me to sell them a house in the Hamptons and say they're like, I really love this house. Do you think this is a good idea? My honest opinion would be like, no, I don't think
Why are
this
they gonna
will.
make it?
I don't think this will exist in like
30 years.
30 years or.
I'm gonna
sooner.
lay on my back and I'm telling you, this house is great for you.
This
I'm
is
laying
amazing.
on my
house.
back. Yeah.
And like 2 years later, the ocean comes and it's like, oops.
Oceanfront property you would have never expected. Oh my god.
Oceanfront property.
Oceanfront property.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Well, anyone who buys an oceanfront property and then there's a hurricane and it gets wiped away and they're like, oh my god.
happened to my house?
Like, what did you
Yeah.
expect?
Or like in
Yeah,
the hills
it's
in
not gonna
California,
lie.
it's just like landslides and mudslides. What's happening?
Yeah, that
Like
freaks me
selling
out
Sunset
so
when they're like,
bad.
oh yeah, in the hills, and it's like houses on top of houses
Yeah.
and
There's
these like.
that.
Imagine
Disaster.
if like a house was
Yeah.
landsliding onto
Oh my
your
God.
house.
And they're concerned about the views.
The guy
He's like
in his
riding in his living room.
house. He's holding on to
You're
it.
looking at your neighbor, you turn around. It's going downhill.
So
Is
the
that
one
worth $1
guy,
million? Yeah.
what's his name on Selling Sunset?
Rhett, Jason.
No,
Both of them.
no, Mary's husband.
Romaine?
Romaine.
He like his face is like my brother's face, and
Looks
it's
exactly
so
like her brother.
funny.
Really?
Because my
That's
brother
pretty
like makes this like
Do we have a picture of your brother?
He does kind of have that like
kind of like
You got a
sour
picture of
face.
your
and like
brother?
squinty eyes.
Yeah.
Like, kind of, like,
Navi.
and it's like the head.
Pipi, caca,
It really
pipi.
reminds me of my brother, and I
Pipi,
want them
caca.
to watch it so bad, and they won't.
Whoops. Where's your
Alright,
show?
slow it down.
Show him Romaine. That's your brother on your phone.
Show him
It's
Romaine, that's
it
your
is so
That's your
similar, and I just like want them to acknowledge it.
Acknowledge that.
brother. Look at me.
Look at
So my brother has much more of a dad bod, not a
Mhm.
Not like a
not Romaine's
like a
bod.
model ripped from France. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I gotta get my passport renewed.
Otherwise, you can't go anywhere, huh? Or do you have to get the real ID? There's like a
Just
couple
more
I think
have
next
that?
year.
next year. They're gonna like put a chip in you or something.
Yeah, my butt.
Put a chip in my butt and be like, I know where you are at all times.
I think- You know, we were looking at tickets for Puerto Rico. They're really cheap.
Puerto
Like
Rico.
round trip is like $150.
That's not bad. When are you gonna go potentially?
I don't know.
You gonna go to the coast? You gonna go take a dip and never come back?
Go take a dig.
You gonna go play with the jellyfish and like catch iguanas in your hands?
You have iguanas in there?
They
Or
do-
lizards, right?
They got
I
iguanas. they
remember
got
seeing
lizards.
iguanas and lizards. I remember seeing
Hey.
jellyfish.
Alright, you're too loud now. Stop.
Nice talking. There it is.
You had your time to speak.
Aw. That's too funny. That's cool. He's gonna like bury himself in the couch.
Yeah.
He's just like frustrated.
Oh.
Frustrated now. I'm sorry.
You know, we have this THC tincture that I got from
Hear that?
a cannabis event, and it's really nice. Like you don't take it directly; you put it in a drink. But like, I really liked it. It's quite subtle. I feel like I have a large tolerance. I like it. Sarah has a lighter tolerance, and she liked it. She thinks she did a little too much, but for the time that she liked it, she liked it.
That's cool. I feel like that'd be like me. I'd have like a little bit too much and I'd be like freaking out. I'd,
Yeah,
like,
I was
I'm, like,
freaking
gonna
out a
die.
little bit.
Ronnie, I'm dying right now. No, you're not.
I remember like one of the last. No, it wasn't the one of. At least 5 years ago,
I
up
definitely thought
to
about it.
5 or 6 years ago, I was driving you from somewhere because you were gonna stay here for a few days to cater a few days in a row,
Yeah.
and like I picked you up from your grandma's and we had smoked like a little, and I was parking the car and you're like, I'm a bad man, I'm going to hell. I'm just like,
Out of nowhere, I'm a bad man.
Yeah, like you worked yourself up into like a fit where
Yeah.
you were just convinced that you were bad, you were going to hell, you need to go back to your grandma's house.
Yeah. I gotta be a good boy. I gotta come to
I
grandma's
gotta go
house.
with my grandma.
That's too funny. Yeah, that doesn't sound inaccurate at all. That's definitely for real.
I would have been the worst choice.
To go back to my
Your
grandma's
grandma
being
would
like
have like
super high.
tormented you
Oh
for being
my
high.
God.
What are you fucking high?
What are you lit up? Whoa!
She falls over in a chair. Wow.
Whoa! That's all. I would have laughed at that. I think. Yeah, man. I don't do good with weed anymore.
When we went to LA,
Yeah, there it is. Milk it.
Sorry, yeah.
no, you're good. When we went to LA, we like went to one of the stores and we got these blueberries. And Michael, you ate like 3.
3 blueberries.
Like while driving, I was like, this is great.
And
I
like I
love
had
this.
one, and like we were driving through the Hollywood Hills back to
Oh,
that, and
shit.
I was like, we're gonna landslide out of here. Like I haven't been that high since like college.
Damn.
It was terrifying. Anyway, I just had one. I just had one chocolate covered blueberry.
That sounds
They were
exactly
delicious.
how
I had
feel.
He was
Oh
like
my
eating,
God.
and he was
Ronnie
driving.
could roll with Mike. Yeah, she could definitely roll with
Well-
you. I'd roll with Sarah. I could.
Yeah, yeah, just one hit and
You're
we're
freaking out.
It's
Yeah.
like when we went to Colorado, we went to a
Gotta get out of
concert.
here.
I had like 3
Yeah.
edibles, and I was just
Down
like
the hills.
vibing so like great. Like
You had
we
3
were at
out of
Red
one,
Rocks, I was having a good time. We went back to the hotel,
Yeah.
and then Aaron's like, "I'm freaking
I'm like,
out."
like my
That's
face,
me too.
everything's like shaking in my body.
But then like
And
when
we
we
watched the music, and that was cool.
when we went to Saranac for a concert, and then I had one of those gummy worms or something. It was,
That Johnny.
they
gave
were
you?
like unmarked.
like time
oh,
elapsed.
Here are some like edibles where it's like you don't know where they came from or how they
Yeah.
were produced. And I ate one, and I ate it an hour before the main act was coming on, and I was like, oh, like I'll feel it for the main act. And then the main act came on.
And we won a little
And-
contest to be able to go upstage, which is
Yeah,
pretty cool.
but then
Oh,
they
cool.
came on and they ended, and Aaron throughout the thing was like, "Are you feeling?" I'm like, "No, whatever. They were probably duds. Like, no big deal." So it's been like 2 hours since I ate the
Oh my
edible.
God.
And then we get to the car, and after, yeah, we had won this little contest where it's like you can be up front for the encore, like in the little space where
Yeah.
photographers and like people go.
Nice.
And like that was awesome. And Aaron took a couple pictures. So we get to the car, and Aaron's like, "Oh, do you want to see the pictures I took?" And he starts to drive home from Saranac to New Jersey. So it's like a 2 to 3 hour drive.
yeah.
And I start to look at the pictures, and I was like, I'm not feeling so good.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
no.
And then I'm like, oh my god, and it like hit me so hard, and that was the highest I'd ever been. And we're driving home, and I'm like, I felt like I was in hyperspace.
Oh my God.
And
Yeah.
I was just like, you gotta slow down.
That's what I was telling him in the hills. I was like, we're going way too
We're going
fast.
I
I'm
was like,
like,
you gotta
I'm
slow down.
driving the speed limit.
He
Yeah.
started going 60 miles an hour. I was like, oh my god, like, you're gonna get pulled over.
Yeah, in New York, they like to pull people over if you're out of state. I'm like, alright, I'm going like 66 miles
He's
an hour.
like, just try and sleep, just try and
So you
sleep.
like close your eyes, and I'm driving
Yeah.
still, and you're what was happening? Like throughout the whole time, so just do that.
It's so hard.
Intermediately, just do
And
it.
then, ironically, we went blueberry picking the next morning.
And you still feel
Oh,
fine.
nice.
And you were still high.
I was
She
like,
still
we
felt it,
went to
you
bed,
know.
woke up, and we're like, we're going blueberry picking, and I was like,
Oh.
I bet it was much more enjoyable, but I was
I'll
like,
take some
woohoo.
popcorn.
Yeah.
I was like, we're blueberry picking, but I was still,
God.
it was, I don't know what was with those gummy worms, but I definitely felt
That's
like,
yeah.
I
That's like
was,
me every time I have.
I was a different universe.
Jeez.
I think that, like, similarly, my highest experience, Aaron was there. Aaron, myself, and I don't know that you've met Tyler Ronnie. He's like a friend through me. Like, we went to Denver because Tyler had a show or like a friend, and we went for like 5 days, like a work week of time, and like we went to a baseball game because our host was like a couple of people and like just I don't know, just some artists, and they took us to a baseball game.
It's like
one night.
$5 for tickets. It
Yeah.
was cheap, dirt cheap.
Third,
Colorado Rockies.
yeah, it was really. We got great seats, really cheap. But like Tyler, he drinks a lot, and like kudos. But like he he had a weed soda, and he drank the serving size. The cap was the shot glass. It had lines of this is one shot. This is,
You drank the whole thing.
and the bottle says do one, and so I did one, and Tylor drank the rest of it.
Oh
And he,
my
like,
God.
chucked
Top of weed cookies too. He had eaten, right?
Yeah, and
Chocolate.
he was drinking beer,
Wait, that was a weed
soda.
A
like
weed
a
elixir.
weed liquor.
Yeah,
So
it's like an elixir.
Yeah, like a weed soda. It just had, like how we have it.
Oh,
just
he
like
drank the
soda
whole
with weed.
thing.
He drank the whole thing, but we're in the Uber to the baseball game, and I'm in the front seat, and Aaron
A
Tylor.
baseball game.
Yeah, Aaron and
Not even
Tylor.
like a concert.
No,
A
baseball
baseball game.
Aaron and Tylor and our hosts are in the back of the Uber, all laughing and we're having a great time. And I'm in the front of the car, and I have a boner, and I'm starting to sweat. And, I'm really
Wait, and
scared.
you just had one shot.
Yeah, I just did one shot, and I thought I was gonna throw up, and yeah, it made it worse because I was confused, scared, and I had a boner. I was really nervous, I thought we were gonna die too. I was like, this guy doesn't know where he's going. We're fucking dead.
You know this is my boner.
Yeah, I was trying to hide it.
Put tucking your shirt over your pants.
So you just see like a little tent.
So that was your highest, and Tylor was gone.
So yeah,
Oh,
what
yeah.
happened to Tylor?
I remember him he's like oh yeah, I'm chilling out, and then he'd go somewhere and then come back up and like, dude, I'm not feeling too good, man. I'm really in my head right now, and this is some scary thoughts.
Oh.
I'm like, you're it's gonna be alright, man. He's like, and then he just walks away and goes somewhere else, and he's alone with his super concentrated high thoughts.
Oh my God.
He was done. He was eating the chocolates, the cookies, he drank all of it.
I didn't sit down to watch most of the game. I think I laughed the stadium 3 times during the game, just
But you had a boner the whole time.
yeah. I just tried to walk off my phone. Yeah.
Oh god, he was sweating.
And there's mothers with little kids that they're like, come here, come.
Close your eyes.
Get
Look
away
at
from
the
him.
weird man.
Help me!
Their boner just popping out.
Help me!
I can't remember. I think I was cruising. I knew if I had too much, I'd be done.
Damn.
That's funny. I didn't know that was your highest you've ever been.
Well, it was just a state of
One
I
of the
can't
highest.
control myself, and I'm afraid.
A boner. That's awesome.
I think I had weed laced with something once, because
Me too.
I don't know if this is a weed thing, but I was in high school and I was with a couple people, and we were walking towards the train, and we had smoked out of the same thing, and we're walking towards the train, and it's me and my 2 friends, and I look over at them, and then they say, we have to take the N, right? Or the W or whatever it is. We have to take the N, right? And then I look forward, and I look over, we have to take the N, right? And
Yep.
it was like that
Yep,
for
same
an
thing.
hour.
Yep.
Where I was just holy shit, I keep looking this way, and it's the same
Keep saying
statement.
thing.
And I
I
don't
think
know.
we're
How old
in
were you?
another dimension.
How old were you, do you think?
That was high school.
So if
It
you were
was,
young, because I've had those same
Yeah.
experiences where I had smoked, and I remember hanging out at PK or something, we're walking, and it's and it's the same exact thing. And it was we're almost there, and we're walking, and I turn around, we're almost there, we're almost there, and it's repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating, and it's. I think when you haven't had weed that much and you get it, I feel you're more prone to those time delay symptoms.
Maybe that is what it is, where it's
Because you might have thought it was an hour, but that could have just been 5 minutes. But in your mind, you're
Right.
super high.
I've thought of that too, where it's maybe you have to smoke weed 100 times before that never happens again, or something like that, or 10 times, or
Because
your first 50 times,
I
maybe.
I remember a pivotal point where I first started smoking weed, and I was at my friend Zach's house, and we're in his living quarters, and I remember my vision becoming super blurry, and that blurriness was just an infinite amount of just all these images that I'm taking in, and the only thing that was in focus was his head, and it was just following him. It was this kind of thing, and it's dude. He's dude, are you okay? And I'm just falling around. It just like, and then when I'd smoke later on, I had like little to no effect. Like I'd just be like, oh, I just gotta smoke more weed, and I didn't even feel anything. So it definitely, I feel like once you get used to it, it kind of like tapers off. But that is so creepy and like so like disorientating to hear like the same thing over and over again. You're like, I literally
is
just heard
scary.
this.
I think in
You travel back in time, man.
our last year of high school, like we did some mushrooms with Daniel at my house when we had a sleepover.
Yeah,
And we did,
sleepover.
It was Aaron's first time doing mushrooms, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And he was so scared. He didn't like it because like
I was claustrophobic.
you both have done it where it's like before it starts, it's uncomfortable. Maybe you feel a little sick. But once you're like mature and understand this is just how this works, it doesn't affect you. You're just like, I'm getting through the thing. But like Aaron was like, he's like pacing and like bobbing in place, like, I don't like this.
Yeah.
I don't want this. I want to stop.
So he hasn't changed much.
Yeah.
I've not stopped.
And
You guys are just like
we were
cracking
getting
up
pissed.
laughing.
Yeah, we were laughing at you and getting pissed. We were just like, just shut the fuck up. Just wait, dude. It'll get
I was like,
better.
we gotta go outside. I can't be in here. You said the orange juice works, right? Let me have orange juice. I don't want to feel this.
Yeah.
But then as soon as we got outside, it just like hit me like a ton of bricks, and it was just like pretty cool.
And then later that same evening, I remember we were listening to music and like playing a game, and I had a blanket, and I was like, you guys can't prove that this isn't a piece of shit. And I was like, I felt really
Yeah.
determined. I was like, prove to me that this isn't a piece of shit.
You
Like,
also
this blanket.
said, listen to like the fuzz. Like, isn't that like music within itself? And then you wrote like a bunch of like that might have been later on, but then we looked at like your ceiling and it looked like cream cheese or something like
Moving around.
moving around cream cheese.
The popcorn ceiling.
The popcorn
Your
ceiling.
popcorn ceiling.
It was the patterns were swirling.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff, man. I mean, yeah, we definitely slept over in the same bed in that time.
You got scared.
Snuggle?
Yeah,
Snuggle,
you can't prove to me this is
snuggle.
not a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's funny. What the hell are you eating, buddy?
I don't know.
Marshall.
What
you got?
Which way are you guys gonna like drive?
Go home.
Like which?
Which outlet?
Like you think it'll tell you to BQE to Williamsburg Bridge and go down through the Lincoln Tunnel or the George Washington Bridge?
We've been doing the Lincoln Tunnel a lot because the bridge adds like 10 miles on. Because instead of being like going straight through Manhattan, it's like, oh, you're gonna go up and around to get back. So like, even though sometimes it's a little slower, just with like traffic through Manhattan, like mileage is shorter. But
Yeah.
there are like similar times where it's like, is 5 minutes really worth like adding 10 miles?
Is it? Is it worth it?
And then potential like more traffic because
That's
it's
what the
like,
phone is asking. Is it worth it?
well, today, like, when we were routing, because we'll be like, oh, let's just see which way is fastest. It, like, was showing the bridge, the Holland Tunnel, but, like, would not show us the Lincoln Tunnel, like, no matter how many times we tried to route it or, like, different methods of, like, maps.
Yeah.
It just refused to show Holland
Shift to
Tunnel.
Lincoln, yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
is there something catastrophic that's, like, they've closed the Lincoln Tunnel? And there was nothing going on, and when we got to the tunnel, it was like no
Fine.
line, which is like completely.
That was like our best time to actually get in there.
yeah,
so,
like
it was
we
probably the
went
best time.
straight into the tunnel, steadily went through the tunnel, came out,
So it's a straight shot, you know, like.
and it was just so like bizarre that it didn't come up because it really there was no traffic at all. But then meanwhile, the George Washington Bridge had like red straight
Yeah.
across,
Short being secrets.
and it was trying to send us that way,
Oh.
but.
What a
That's
bunch
so
of
weird.
bastards.
You get poop, Marshall?